Julian loved exploring. His attic was his favorite place. One rainy afternoon, he was rummaging through his grandfather's old chest. He found a rolled-up piece of parchment. It was tucked inside a leather pouch. He carefully untied the pouch and unfurled the parchment. It was a map. But not just any map. This one looked ancient. The map was fragile. Its edges were browned with age. It depicted strange symbols and faded illustrations. One illustration caught Julian's eye. It was a magnificent temple. The temple shimmered with gold. The map said it was hidden on an island. The island was shrouded in mist. Julian's heart pounded with excitement. He knew this was no ordinary map. This was the start of a real-life adventure. He couldn't wait to tell his friends about his amazing discovery. Julian called his two best friends, Maya and Ben. Maya loved a good mystery. Ben wasn't so sure. He preferred his video games. But as soon as Julian showed them the map, even Ben was hooked. They huddled closer, their eyes glued to the faded parchment. Julian pointed to the inscription on the map. "The Golden Temple," he read, his voice hushed with awe. "Legend says it holds untold treasures and ancient secrets," Maya gasped. "Treasures? What kind of treasures?" she asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "No one knows for sure," Julian replied. He traced the outline of the island with his finger. "But rumor has it that the temple guards the secrets of a lost civilization." Ben leaned in, suddenly intrigued. "A lost civilization? This is getting interesting." The friends spent the next few days researching. They searched through dusty books and online archives. They learned about the legend of the Golden Temple. It was built by a powerful civilization that vanished centuries ago. The temple was said to be protected by cunning traps and mythical creatures. They knew they needed a plan and supplies. They gathered ropes, torches, and a first aid kit. Maya, a tech whiz, packed her trusty laptop and a portable charger. "Just in case we need to do some on-the-go research," she explained with a wink. Ben, ever practical, brought along his Swiss Army knife and a compass. "Better safe than sorry," he muttered, adjusting his backpack. With their gear packed and their spirits high, they were ready to embark on their adventure. They were determined to find the Golden Temple and unlock its secrets. Julian's uncle had a sailboat. He let them borrow it. They set sail early one morning. The sea was calm, a sheet of sparkling blue under the warm sun. The island was marked on the map as the Isle of Whispers. Days turned into nights. The friends took turns steering the boat. They told stories and shared dreams of what they might find on the mysterious island. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, a shape emerged from the mist on the horizon. The Isle of Whispers loomed large, its peaks hidden by swirling clouds. As they drew closer, the air grew heavy with the scent of unknown flowers and the sound of strange bird calls. The adventure was about to begin. The island was covered in dense jungle. Giant trees formed a leafy canopy overhead. The air was thick and humid. They had only gone a short distance when they encountered their first obstacle. A maze of thorny vines blocked their path. The vines were thick and twisted. They seemed to writhe and pulsate as if alive. "This looks like trouble," Ben muttered, pushing his glasses up his nose nervously. "Don't worry," Maya said with a confident grin. "I've got this." She pulled out her trusty Swiss Army knife and began carefully cutting a path through the tangled vines. They moved slowly and cautiously, following Maya's lead. The air buzzed with insects, and the jungle seemed to press in on them from all sides. But they refused to be deterred. They were on a mission to find the Golden Temple. They finally escaped the tangle of vines. They found themselves in a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a majestic statue. It was a sphinx, with the body of a lion and the head of a human. But this sphinx wasn't just a statue. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light. As they approached, the sphinx spoke. Its voice echoed through the clearing. It challenged them with a riddle. What has one voice but speaks in many tongues and can be heard by all, yet has no mouth? It boomed. Julian, Maya, and Ben exchanged nervous glances. They knew they had to solve the riddle to proceed. They paced back and forth, racking their brains. Suddenly, Maya's face lit up. "The wind!" she exclaimed. "The answer is the wind!" The sphinx let out a roar of approval. The ground trembled. A hidden pathway opened up before them, leading towards the towering peak of the island. The pathway led them up the mountain. They finally reached the Golden Temple. It was even more magnificent than the map, but guarding the temple entrance was a series of treacherous trials. The ground was littered with pressure plates. Dart launchers were hidden in the walls. One wrong step could trigger a deadly trap. Julian studied the ground carefully. He noticed a pattern in the seemingly random placement of the pressure plates. "I think I see a safe path," he whispered, pointing out the sequence of steps they needed to take. They moved with the utmost care, their hearts pounding in their chests. One by one, they navigated the treacherous trials. They relied on their wits, their courage, and their trust in each other. They finally reached the temple doors. The doors were massive and made of solid gold.